Hello, and welcome to Law School. My name is Eric Dye, and I am your Lexus representative at the Cooley Law School. First, let me go ahead and say congratulations for making it to law school and through your first few days of the term. You should be very proud of yourselves for making it here, but now that you're here, you probably could use a few helping hands. Well, that is where LexisNexis can really help you out. You may have already been hearing some talk about LexisNexis and Lexus Advance, and are wondering, what is this Lexus thing? Well, in sum, Lexus is a research database that you can use as a powerful tool throughout law school and out in practice to help you with your legal research. The great thing is that it is an easy tool to use, and if you have ever used Google or Amazon, you will be off and running with it in no time. And by learning how to use Lexus, you will be learning how to use a tool that is trusted and heavily used in the legal job market. For example, Lexus is used by 97% of Am Law 100 law firms and in over 4,000 corporations. So today I want to start to familiarize you with Lexus and to give you some tips you can start using right now. And then over the course of our 3 years or more together, I will continue to offer workshops to show you more and more ways to get the most out of Lexus. Specifically, I want to show you how you can use Lexus Advance to prepare for class, and to be totally ready to answer any of the crazy questions your professors might throw your way about the cases you've been assigned to read. However, before I do that, I bet many of you are wondering who I am and why I'm here to talk to you about Lexus. So let me just say a few words about myself. I come to my role as a Lexus representative by way of having attended law school at UC Davis in Northern California. I then practiced as an attorney to the California State Legislature for 5 years in a nonpartisan role drafting bills and legal opinions. From there, I moved to Michigan and clerked for a couple of Michigan State Court judges. And then after that, I began my role with Lexus to help all of you. So as I said earlier, the purpose of today's workshop is to show you how fast and easy Lexus Advance is to use to help you prepare for class. The process I will use to show this to you will be to use Lexus Advance along with you on your computer today to show you what resources are available on the Lexus Law School homepage. Second, I'll show you how to pull up cases on Lexus to prepare for class. And finally, I'm going to introduce you to something called Shepherds and Shepherdizing. So we're going to begin today at the Lexus Law School homepage, because this is where everything starts. So in order to use Lexus Advance, you'll need to know how to get there. The law school homepage is at www.lexusnexus.com/law school. Here I am on the law school homepage right here. You will be prompted to log in with your ID, which your orientation materials should explain to you how to get. If you need more information on how to register and get your ID, please feel free to email me, eric.dye@lexusnexus.com. So I've got a Cooley student account here. I'm going to go ahead and sign in, which is what you guys will do. And then once you are on the Lexus Law School homepage, it'll look like this. And there are 3 things on the homepage that I want to make sure you guys know about right away. One is if you scroll down on the left-hand side of the page, you'll see a list of myself and Lexus student representatives who are on campus. Each of the 4 Cooley campuses has a Lexus student representative. So they're your classmates, and they've actually used Lexus to help them out with law school and are a great resource to help you out. You'll see them at Lexus tables throughout the term, but feel free to email them to set up an appointment if you have research questions or other questions about Lexus. Additionally, if you need help and one of us is not available at the moment, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can call the Lexus 1-800 number, which is right here at the bottom of the screen, 1-800-45-LEXUS. We have research attorneys there standing by to help you out with any kind of question you might have. Even questions about what sorts of terms you can search to help you with a question that you're grappling with. Finally, I just want to point out that we've got a lot of good class and exam preparation materials over here, including free Barbary outlines for all the major topics that you'll be taking in your classes. So definitely take a look at these outlines because they'll help you study and understand sort of the big picture of what it is you're working on. So, moving from the law school homepage, I want to actually show you how to look up a case and how this is going to help you out in your classes. So to start doing your researching using Lexus, you're going to want to go to Lexus Advance itself. So we've been on the law school homepage. To get to Lexus Advance itself, you click Go to Lexus Advance at the top of the homepage. And here we are on Lexus Advance. And the first thing you'll notice at the top of the page is a big red search bar. You can search for key terms in this search bar just like you would on Google. So let's go ahead and pull up a case. So a case that a lot of students will read in their first year contracts class is a case called Hawkins versus McGee. This case is otherwise known as the case of the hairy hand. So if you've seen this case, you'll know why it's the case of the hairy hand. And you might want to just understand a little bit more about what's going on. That's the sensational part of it, but there are some key contract principles that come out of this case. So you've been assigned to read Hawkins versus McGee for your contracts class, but you're not quite understanding the language from the case as you read it in the case book. You need a little bit of help understanding it before you go to class. So to look up the case, you can go ahead and type in the case name, Hawkins versus McGee, into the search box, or you can type in the citation. Those are the numbers that appear after the case name. They should appear at the top of the case in your case book. Those just say which volume and page number the case is published in. But for Lexus Advance, you can just go ahead and type in those numbers without even worrying about capitalization or periods into the search box, click enter, or the magnifying glass on the right, and it'll bring up the case for you. So when you look up any case on Lexus, the way Lexus is going to help you out in understanding the case is through something called the case summary. So that's one of the first things I want to show you. So the case summary appears towards the top of the case. This is actually written by our Lexus editors, and it's going to explain to you 3 key things about the case. The procedural posture, it's going to give you an overview, and the outcome. So the procedural posture is going to tell you how this case ended up where it's at. Was it in a trial court, and then it got appealed, and then it ended up in the state Supreme Court? This will explain that to you. The overview is going to give you a good summary of the facts, what happened, what key legal principles were discussed. And then finally, the outcome is going to tell you how the court actually ruled. So this is a very quick and easy way to get yourself up on the speed on a case you're reading for class. After you've read the case summary, another thing you'll want to take advantage of is something called the head notes. They usually appear right below the case summary. These LexisNexis head notes, what they are is they are this is the black letter law. This is the key law that came out of the case, the decision that you've read. We take the actual quotes of the language from the court and we highlight it here in a head note. If you want to see where the court actually laid down this black letter law or quoted this black letter law in the decision, from the head note, go ahead and click the little down arrow, and you can see that quote in context in the decision. So let's jump back up to the head note list itself. So this is a list of key legal principles that came out of the case in the head notes here. Why is this helpful to you? Well, this is going to really tell you what are the key legal principles that you need to hone in on for this case. Usually when you're in class, your professor is going to ask you questions that are going to focus on these key legal principles. Going through the head notes like this is going to make sure you don't miss any key legal principles from the case. So now that you have pulled up a case and taken advantage of the case summary and the head notes, maybe you want to print this out for future reference. Well, to print, Lexus actually provides you with unlimited free printing, and we have a printer at each of the campuses. So to print, what you're going to want to do is go to the top of the case and click this down arrow here for deliver. These are going to be delivery options. To print, go ahead and click print. You could email the case to yourself too. Go ahead and email the case. Another thing you might want to do is take advantage of something that we have on Lexus called folders. We actually will keep all of your legal research in a folder, kind of like in the cloud for you. To save this to a folder, you can click on the folder icon. And then if you already have folders created, you can just click on the folder itself and it'll save the case right to it. Or you can click choose a folder and you'll get a menu telling you how to create a folder to save your legal research. Definitely some handy tools to keep in mind as you're looking at cases and doing your legal research. The final thing I want to introduce you to today is something called Shepherds. So what Shepherds is, and you're going to probably hear people talking about Shepherds and shepherdizing, what this really does is this is the tool you're going to use that's been around for over 140 years actually, and it's really kind of the gold standard in the legal industry. And what the tool does is it'll help you figure out whether or not the case you're looking at is good law still or not. Because what can happen is a court can go ahead and render a decision, and then either that same court or a higher court later on will come along and overrule that decision. So if that's the case, if you're looking at a case that's been overruled, you need to make sure you know that so you're not trying to cite it as being good law still. Because if you don't catch that, you better be sure that opposing counsel will catch it and they'll make sure that the court knows that. So you want to make sure you're up to speed. So what Shepard's does is Shepard's will pull up a list of every case that is cited to your case. Because if you think about it, if a later case is going to overturn your case, they're going to have cited to your case and said, for instance, Hawkins versus McGee was wrong. Similarly, though, Shepard's can also be used to find cases that said Hawkins versus McGee was great. So Shepard's can be used to tell you whether or not a case has overruled your case, but it can also be used to find other cases that have said your case is great. So if you're trying to make an argument using your case, if you can find other cases that said your case is great, that's going to make your argument even stronger. So how do you access Shepard's? So the way you access Shepard's is when you're in a case like we looked up Hawkins versus McGee. If you want to Shepardize or pull a Shepard's report on Hawkins versus McGee or any other case, you want to click Shepardize this document on the right-hand side of the screen. And when you Shepardize a document, first you're going to see the history of the case that you were looking at itself. So these are the cases, the lower court decisions that preceded the decision you were looking at. We were looking at a state Supreme Court case. Here is the Court of Appeals decision that was appealed to the Supreme Court. What you're going to most be interested in is all citing decisions, all cases that cited to your case. So go ahead and click Citing Decisions. And here's a list of all 30 decisions that have cited to Hawkins versus McGee. And you can go ahead and click on the case name itself to read it and find out more about how it treated Hawkins versus McGee. Additionally, we give you these nice little symbols next to the case name that'll give you a hint about how that case, in this case, George versus Alhoit, treated Hawkins versus McGee. It treated it with some caution. So I don't expect you to understand Shepard's fully at this point. We have trainings that go into Shepard's in much more detail, but I wanted you to see what a Shepard's report looks like and just basically kind of understand the concept of what's going on here. Shepard's is going to help you figure out whether or not a case you're looking at is good law or not. All right, so today I was able to show you how to use the Lexus Law School homepage to get the help and support you need. I then showed you how to pull up cases and use case summaries and Lexus headnotes to help you prepare for class. And finally, I introduced you to Shepard's, which can help you identify if a case is still good law or not, and is only available on LexisNexis. I know this was a lot of information, but hopefully you are starting to see just how powerful of a tool Lexus Advance is. And don't worry if you can't remember everything we went over today. Lexus is here to help you. You can always go to the Lexus Law School homepage to get the email address for me or one of your student reps if you have questions, and you can always call the 24/7 hotline at 1-800-45-LEXUS. All right, I know I told you that we would end basically after looking at those three things, but there's just one more thing I want to make sure you know about, and that's Lexus Rewards points. LexisNexis is the only company that offers rewards points to its law students. These are points that are going to reward you for doing the research work you already have to do. You can earn Lexus Rewards points in many ways, including signing up for your Lexus ID itself, viewing trainings, doing daily research, and stopping by our Lexus tables to get a Lexus table tip. These points can then be used to earn you merchandise like Amazon and Starbucks gift cards. It only takes about 350 points to get a $5 gift card. So to learn more about points, just go ahead and go to the Lexus Law School homepage, go to the reward section, and you can find out a whole bunch more information about them. So I hope this was helpful for you today and gave you a helpful introduction to Lexus Advance. And just know that you can use Lexus Advance to help you prepare for class. I'm looking forward to working with you over your time here at law school and showing you all the other awesome features that Lexus has to offer to help make you the best attorney that you can be. To earn 200 Lexus Rewards points for viewing today's video, please click the link to the Google Doc quiz that's underneath the video on YouTube. Take the quick quiz, and then you will earn 200 points for viewing today's video. Good luck, and thanks so much.